What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I did not know if I was actually getting this saw or not, or if, like, I don't know. Okay, let me put a little backstory into this. I bought the little 20-volt DeWalt saw, okay? And I don't want to show you my address, but the little 20-volt DeWalt saw. It's kind of a top handle, kind of not, okay? And I bought that saw. Actually, let me get it for you. I'll show you. Okay, so to explain to you why I was so goddamn excited to find out that this saw was going to be a thing, right? So I had some trees I wanted to cut. It's just some little trees. I was going to make a racetrack for, RC cars and stuff. There was some trees in the way, and I said, I'm not going to do this all with a handsaw. So I bought the DeWalt 20-volt chainsaw, and my chain's a little loose because I accidentally just smacked it on the ground. So I'm gonna have to tighten that. But thankfully, to tighten it, all you gotta do is turn this thing. But anyway, this has been, I might have knocked it off the thing. Ugh. I don't know what I just did to it. I knocked it on the ground, getting it out of the truck. Hang on. All right. So as you can see, this saw's gotten quite a bit of use. Look at all that junk in there. So I bought this saw just to kind of, cut some little stuff, and then just just so happened, this was back in like September, I started climbing trees, and now I have a whole bunch of tree climbing gear. And around that time, I was like, all right, well, this little saw is cool, but I kind of want a bigger saw too. So then I discovered I know, this is crazy. I've got all the DeWalt saws now. Who would even believe it? So, my cousin makes fun of me. He calls me DeWalt Nate. But anyway, then I got the big 60-volt DeWalt saw, it's a pretty okay saw. It's a pretty decent saw. It does pretty good. It does not oil enough. I will tell you that right off the bat. It does not oil enough, and it's not adjustable. So, that's a pain in the ass. But I got that, right? And I was like, I really wish I had a more powerful climbing saw that also took these batteries, right? So what I was thinking was, see how low the chain speed is on this? This video is kind of going to be all over the place because I'm, just doing what I feel like doing, but low chain speed, right? Compared to the 60 volt. You can just tell when you're using them, the 60 volt chain speed a lot faster. So I looked up on YouTube. I was trying to see if I could somehow get this motor into this saw, right? Try to take the 60-volt motor and put it in the 20-volt saw, which obviously, that was just kind of like a fever dream type thing, because obviously that motor is way too freaking big to go into here. But I searched on YouTube. Here, you can see what I look like. The crazy person. Crazy about the DeWalt saws, right? So I searched DeWalt 60-volt top handle chainsaw, just trying to figure out if anybody had made them or not, and I got an advertisement for this thing, and I don't think anybody in the world even freaking knows about it, because you'd have to be crazy like me to want to have all of these DeWalt saws. So anyway, if you're looking for the 20 volt, or looking at buying the 20 volt, it's a great saw, but it has its limitations. That one is a pretty good saw. Doesn't oil enough, and it's really annoying that it doesn't oil enough, because that could be a really good saw. But now we're going to try them all out. I'm going to do a head-to-head comparison of all three. But this is the one I've been waiting for, because it's supposedly 60 volt power in a top handle climbing saw. So we're gonna get to the bottom of this. Hello, potato. So anyway, here it is in all of its glory. What I've been waiting for. It's got an actual proper lanyard attachment point. Oh, it's got a little bag too. I wonder what that's for. It's a bag for maybe batteries, maybe? Put a battery in that bag. Let's see. This is a kit. So if you want to know exactly where I bought this, where you can buy it for yourself. I bought this on acehardware.com because I didn't really trust any of the other websites to actually give me the correct saw, because I feel like if I were to order this off of some you know, like Amazon, which it's not on Amazon. That's how new this saw is. It's not on Amazon. Wow, that is nice and light. Obviously, there's no battery and no bar in it, but that is a nice light saw. Doesn't matter how it performs. I'm still going to tell you it's awesome. But anyway, this kit was the bare tool. You can buy the bare tool on some websites, which is just the bar, chain, no battery, no nothing, for $500. Or you can get the kit that I did. It comes with two 9 amp hour flex volt batteries, which means you can use them in your 20 volt tools. You can use them in your 60 volt tools. It comes with two of those, two 9 amp hour batteries, for I believe $699. So $700 with two batteries. Does it come? It comes with a chain file. These Dewalt saws, they send you the shittiest chain files ever. Just don't bother using them. I know it's an Oregon file, but dude, it is so non-aggressive. Like you can't file with it. It's a piece of shit. Get actual good Oregon files. The ones they send you are junk. If you're wondering why your saw won't file, because this file is a freaking knockoff Oregon file. Comes with a charger as well. So you get two 9 amp hour batteries and a charger for only $200 more, when these batteries themselves are like $150 a piece. Like, it's such a good deal to just get the kit instead of the bare tool. So now I've got a bunch of these batteries. So now I'm fully invested in this Dewalt tool line. Hopefully this isn't a terrible video, because of the lighting in here isn't all that great, but I believe my bar is in here. All right, I just went ahead and put the bar and chain on there, thankfully. You know, I got a charged up battery. This is a 12 amp hour, came with the 60 volt. So we can go ahead and plug this in. I'm really interested to see how the auto oiling feature works with the like adjustability, and I want to see how much oil it'll like fling on the highest setting. Because yeah, let's get a little comparison real quick. Where can I put you guys? Put you like right here, and hopefully you'll be able to see me. Just a little weight comparison, what I think about the weights. So 60 volt top handle, the new saw. I can hold it up. It's a little heavy. It's definitely heavier than something like a 525 Husqvarna. It's a 25 cc top handle. Gas saw, obviously, because it's 25 cc's. Those you can pick them up and just hold them like crazy all day long. This is getting a little heavy compared to the Dewalt 20 volt saw. This is definitely lighter than that saw by quite a bit. Now I'm starting to get a little bit tired, but this is also heavier than a Husqvarna 525, and it cuts about the same too. The 525 has like a little higher chain speed than this, but they both have 12-inch bars, and this saw is way cheaper than a Husqvarna. It's probably like half the price of a 525. Anyway, I'm comparing it to that because that's what my cousin uses as his climbing saw, is a 525. But seems pretty ergonomic. We'll have to see when I'm out cutting with it, but I could definitely make that work. It is a little heavy. This is a 12 amp hour battery too. Might be a little lighter with the 9 amp hour in it. But all right, let's turn this thing on and just check it out. It's dark out right now. I wish it was freaking daytime. All right, see how this works. Turn it on. Is it on? No. It says something. I'm gonna have to read the manual. Do I have to hold this? I think I shut it off again. Oh, chain brake. There we go. Okay. All right. So it says my battery level is at 1 bar. Oh no. When you hit the gas, sorry, when you hit the throttle, it shows you got four bars. But when you let off, chain brake. I don't know what it was doing there, but it shows that I got full battery. Okay, so that's chain brake. Apparently this is if, I think that could be like if your battery's not connected all the way or something. It'll give you like a connection error. But on this top one from what I saw on the only other video I've seen of this saw was from like an expo or whatever, at like a DeWalt booth where some guy had this saw and he like did a couple cuts with it and he was like, oh, that's cool, it'll be coming out in the winter of 2023. And I was like, hello, I want it like now, tomorrow. So I think I'm the first person on YouTube to actually post like an unboxing sort of review of this saw. Hopefully I am, because I really want to be that guy that has all the DeWalt saws. Anyway, chain brake. All right, so I had the safety, instead of on the 20 volt being right here, you have to click this and then the trigger, which can be a problem because now it's no longer a left-handed saw, so you can't really climb with that very well. You have to use it right-handed or super glue this button down, which I was thinking about doing. This saw you can use with either hand because the safety's right there in the trigger. So, proper two-handed saw. It's nice to see them do that. Okay, let's see how this oiler works. All right, so it ships out of the box on the highest setting for the oiler. So you stick your little scrunch in there. Ooh, not that one. You stick it in here, and it's already all the way to the left for the most oil. I just wish that the 60 volt saw had something like this. So let's see how well that does. See if we can already see from the couple of times we've pulled the trigger if we've got some oil on this bar. No, not really. So let's just give it a sec. See if we can get some oil on that bar. Oh, gotta turn it on. I guess it shuts off after a minute. All right. Starting to throw a little bit of oil on the box. Not a lot though. I don't know, I'm not super impressed with that. That's not really all that much. I want to see it dripping. And it's just not... Don't tell me DeWalt made another saw that doesn't fucking oil. Like, don't tell me that. You have an oil adjuster on your saw, and your saw doesn't oil. Let's get to the bottom of this. I know I said I was going to come back to this tomorrow, but I just held the trigger down for at least maybe a good 2-3 minutes, just full throttle. And I'm finally getting some oil. So I guess you really have to prime the system a lot to get any oil out of it, which now... It's pissing oil now. It's on the number 5 setting. I'm going to put the bar back on. That's a good sign. You know, I understand you got to work it through and get the oil out, you know, and work it through. I'm going to leave this all in the video too, by the way, because that saw I've used for multiple hours and it still doesn't oil. So I figured we were going to end up with the same thing here, but it appears to be working now. So I'm going to put the bar back on and we'll see how much of that oil actually gets to the bar, because with the 20 volt, all the oil gets to the bar. With the other big 60 volt, it just doesn't oil, so whatever. I'd like to show you too, it does have a captive clutch cover nut in there, so that's good, so you're not going to lose that. This is the chain tensioner. You can do it by hand, but the last little kind of tweak, depending on how tight you want your chain, you do got to do it with the... That's probably a little too tight. No, that's fine, that's fine. Some people like to run their chains a little lighter or a little looser, but I like mine so I can pull on it. You know, you don't want it too tight because you want it to be able to get, you know, I don't know, you don't want metal on metal really. You want to get the oil in between there, but you don't want it so loose that it just keeps falling off either. So, all right, now that we're actually getting oil, let's see, turn this thing back on. All right, let's give it a good second here and see what we get. With the 60 volt, we'd get like barely anything. Not much. Okay, why does DeWalt not have... Why does their shit just not oil? Why does it not oil? There's no oil on this chain. None. None. There is no oil. Alright, so next day now, we got the little Dewalt that doesn't like to oil very well. And we're going to give a head-to-head comparison with a 15-year-old, well, it hasn't been ran in 15 years, basically. Hasn't been used. It was running yesterday, but it hasn't actually really cut anything in about 15 years. Steel 025, so it's a 45cc saw. Chain's not exactly super sharp, but we're just going to head-to-head the two saws. We'll see if the electric Dewalt can beat a, I don't know, hasn't been used in 15 years, dull steel. And if it can't, then that's going to be kind of sad. But yeah, top handle. It is a top handle, and neither one of us really know what we're doing, so we're going to try that. We were talking about bar oil when I finished the clip last night, and also, if you have Dewalt tools, they sell these lights on Amazon. They're freaking awesome. They're like super bright. You can see everything. And we had two of these. We had one over on the doghouse and one on top of here. And I was at the, well, this was much taller, but way the hell up in the tree, cutting chunks off of it the other day, like at night, with just two of these little lights. So these things are awesome. They're like 20 bucks a piece. But I basically just lathered the bar in oil. And we're thinking that I might need to use a thinner oil because of a couple of things. Number one thing is that it's not constantly oiling all the time like a normal saw. Like, because with a normal saw, like, whenever the saw is running, there's oil coming out of the little oil hole. But with an electric saw, or at least these electric saws, there's only oil coming out of the oil hole when you have the trigger pressed, so that's a lot less oil to even like have an opportunity to get to the bar, because it's only oiling when the bar is moving or when the chain's moving, which is kind of a pain in the ass. I wish they put like a button on it to, like, you know, oh, let me pre-lube my freaking bar. Like, it's kind of stupid that we have not enough oil getting to our bar. The other thing might be that I need to use a thinner, or because right now I'm using the Husqvarna like X-Guard, you know, stuff that you'd use in like a regular saw, like the, what's that, a 572? Yeah. Like the 572 over there. Just use the Husqvarna oil. It might be too thick for an electric saw, because with a gas saw, you know, it's heating up the oil as well, because there's heat being generated, but you don't have that with an electric saw. So I think what I'm going to try to do, and I'll post an update on this at some point, is I'm going to use the actual DeWalt brand bar and chain oil instead of the Husqvarna stuff, because it might just be that, it might just be a viscosity issue. I don't know. It might just be a shitty design, but we'll find out eventually. But to put this video to an end, we're gonna have a lot more videos on this, because I plan on using this. Hopefully, if I can get the freaking oiling problem figured out, I plan to use this as my, like, all the time climbing saw, which is why I bought it, you know. So, but what do you think about the weight there?
It's lighter than your 20 volt, I think.
It is, I believe it is heavier than the 20 volt, but not by a crazy amount. It's definitely heavier than your saw though, the 525. But yeah, it's definitely, I don't know. I did a comparison yesterday where I stood up and I held them sideways like this, and I think this one,
I think it's the 523.
It's a 525.
It's the same thing. CCs.
I think it's a Husqvarna 525. It says, you know, we'll go check in a minute. Okay. But actually, go get that and cut a cookie off with that. Okay. We'll see. We'll put the 525 up against this this saw, plus the 15-year-old steel saw. We're not even going to bother pitting it up against a 572, because that's just kind of not fair for it. So it's a really nice saw. So let's see how much oil he's got on his bar, like, if anything. What does he got? Not a lot. No, maybe I'm just being like a freak about the whole oil thing. There's really no oil on this freaking chain. Oh no, there's oil on the top. Not a lot of oil on that. He just used that to cut that piece right there. It wasn't running for very long. He just started it up, made the cut, and parked it. But I don't know. I feel like I want more lubrication as opposed to not. You know, I want it freaking stripping. You know what I mean? That's just kind of. I don't care if I use more oil. You know, like screw the freaking oil. I just want the chain to last. You know. So all right, he's gonna come back. We'll do a couple cuts and end the video. Okay, so this is Husqvarna 525, which is a 27cc saw, versus the DeWalt 60-volt top handle. Side-by-side comparison, if I can get this to work. When I say go, okay? 3, 2, 1, go! So I'd say that this is significantly faster than a 25cc saw.
Yeah, it's not meant for chunking at all.
Not meant for chunking. I also just found out what this top light means. It'll light up yellow if you bog the saw too hard, and it'll shut off basically. So like when you're going bah! If you go too hard, that's gonna light up yellow, and the saw is gonna stop. So instead of like that saw just bogging down, it's an electric saw, you over torque it, the motor just ceases to work, you gotta back off and go again. So that happened 3 times during that chunk cut where I bogged it out.
Mine bogged to chain stop once, and it bogged down probably 2 times.
Did it? Okay, so we each bogged 3 times basically. Alright, we're still rolling. So you wanna get the...
And just for clarification, we are not good at chain sharpening yet.
Well, this chain's brand new,
okay,
so it shouldn't need to be sharpened. That chain...
I think that one has a couple uses on it. But
it does have a couple
that
uses
one still
on
would have won by a mile.
Yeah. That one does have a couple uses on it. That was used to basically limb up this tree, and I don't think it's been sharpened really since, has it?
I don't think so.
No. Well, you'd know it's your saw, so if you haven't sharpened it, then...
my dad might have, but I don't think I have.
Yeah. So that does have a little bit of usage. This was a brand new chain, so take it for what it is. But now, we're going to give you an even worse comparison, which is the 525, or an 025. Oh, mother bitch. We lost it. What happened? What happened, friends? Let me figure you guys out. It's still going. It said it's only been going for 3 minutes, though. That's surprising. Alright, so anyway, super old steel versus DeWalt. I'm going to try not to push it so hard, so I'm going to try not to let it bog.
Okay, this one might take a little bit to start, so.
Yep, I got one button. See how much oil we have after that one cut? Basically dry. And I don't like that. I don't know. I don't like it. I wish I had. It's basically dry. Still dry. again, that chain is probably not the sharpest. So you can definitely tell with the chip pile that
Yeah.
you can definitely tell with the chip pile that my chain is brand new, and these chains are not really dull, but could have a little refresh on them. So
Yeah, it's just basic powder.
yeah, I'm actually
That's
surprised.
15 years, nothing.
Well, I mean, that's not super bad, but Lily's chasing chickens around the coop there. Show me your chain. I want to see how much oil you got on your bar. Basically nothing. Start it up and run it and just rip it for like 20 seconds and then see how much oil you got in your bar. You got oil there?
Can't really see it, but I guarantee it is there because this thing spits oil crazy.
I know. That's why I wanted to see what this one would have, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just...
There is oil there. Yeah.
Yeah, but not a lot, though. Does this have any... Did this even have any oil in it?
Yeah, I put oil in it.
Yeah. Nothing, really. Bone dry. I don't know. I need to look up some more about freaking oil, because I just feel like they should have more oil than that. Why have an oil? I don't know. I don't know. Am I just an idiot?
I don't know. I don't know. I think this kind of wood is kind of oiling itself because when I was running even the 572 in that really dry stuff,
Yep.
the tips were burning a little bit on the chain. So it really depends on the wood. And I know, but I have seen the last 60-volt one, the bigger one. That thing does not oil.
It doesn't oil at all. Yeah.
Yeah. This one at least, like,
That one, I've seen it
You can see
throwing
oil
oil off of it, just shooting off. Like, right now it's not doing that, but I've seen it do it before. So, I don't know. I'm gonna test out some oils and see what we can do. But anyway, that is my first impressions of the DeWalt 60-volt top handle chainsaw.
that's all right.
Yep. Yeah, so don't put so much down pressure on it. It'll dig through, just don't put so much down pressure. It's a pretty quick cutting saw.
Yeah, it is.
As long as you don't really push it, it just pulls itself right through the wood, you know? So I like it. Maybe I'm wrong about the oil thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about the oil thing. But
This thing's not bad.
it's not bad.
It's pretty good.
It was $700. It better be fucking good. Like,
I compared this to like the weight when I was at Benson's to like the 540. It's basically the same.
basically, yeah, 5, because I think that's a 9-pound saw, but then you put the battery in it, so it's probably like 12 pounds or so, or maybe it's a 10-pound saw. It's around like 11 to 13 or so pounds, and I'm pretty sure that the 540 Husqvarna or the 540T top handle, Husqvarna saw is like 13 pounds or something like that. So 11 pounds. It's somewhere around there. This thing weighs nothing. This thing is like 9 pounds.
Yeah, basically made for just getting limbs off.
Yeah.
Should not be chunking with that.
Should not be chunking with this. But it is a really good saw. You can just weigh the hell out and yeah. Anyway, that's enough for chainsaw talk. So, okay. Like and subscribe. See you later. Bye. How the table tables have turned. You actually
You
have
should
a.
say in the video that this is probably one of the hardest woods in New England too.
What kind of tree is that?
It's I think it's a white oak.
White oak.
I believe. Don't quote me. It's an oak.
What kind of tree is this? Tell us. We cut it down. We don't know what kind of tree it is. You finally have a saw faster than the Dewalt. You feel good?
No, this is red oak. This is red oak.
Red oak. Okay.
Red oak or pin oak. One of those two, I think.
Yep.